Hi there, Rajneesh this side, and in this video I will show you how to create a workflow that will allow you to register your subscribers with just one click. This thing you can do on your WhatsApp, okay? And earlier you might have seen, like, you might have received an email that says that if you click on this link you will be registered for the webinar with just one click. The same thing we are going to do it on the WhatsApp platform, okay? So in this video we are going to use some different tools, but mainly we will be using Pabbly Connect to connect different applications and create this workflow. All right, so I have prepared a simple mind map, and let's see the tools we will need to execute this workflow. So first we will need Pabbly Connect. This tool will integrate all the applications majorly, okay? And then we will need Chatrace, and through this platform we will send WhatsApp messages, and to send WhatsApp messages we will need a WhatsApp API, and I have WhatsApp API through 360 dialog, so I have integrated 360 dialog with Chatrace. So this thing will be in the backend, okay? So I won't be showing you how this works, but I have just integrated Chatrace with 360 dialog, okay? And I have provided all the links in the description. You can check it out, and of course we will use WebinarKit to run our automated webinar, okay? We will register users automatically in the automated webinar. So if the user clicks in our message, okay, then automatically that particular user will be registered to our webinar, okay? So this is the workflow that we want to execute, and now let's see the automation steps. So first you have to create a template message, okay? Let me expand this. So once you have created the template message, then you have to create a workflow. The workflow would look like this. Let me show you in the full screen. All right, so this is the workflow, and you have to create a tag as well, so that you will know this particular user wants to enroll in the webinar, or you can segment that user with that tag, okay? So in the next step you have to create a tag and webinar field. In the webinar field we are going to store the link so that we can send that link to that user, okay? And yeah, and ensure your contact has an email ID, because we are going to use the contact email ID to register in the webinar. All right, so this is the basic step. And so once you have completed the first step, in the second step you have to create a trigger and action inside Chatrace. So let me show you this screenshot, and then I will show you how to do it, okay? As you can see, so when this tag is applied to a particular contact, then action will be send that data to a Google Sheet. So you have to create a Google Sheet where all the triggered data will be stored. But let me show you how to do this. For example, I have chosen this tag, and whenever this tag is applied, I will click on Google Sheets. So in the actions, you have to click send data, and then you have to choose the spreadsheet. So this is our spreadsheet name, and then you have to choose your worksheet. So this is our worksheet, and here all the data will be stored. You have to map the fields, okay? And then you have to click on save. All right, so once you have done this process, then you have to create a workflow inside Pabbly Connect. So first you have to create a workflow. Let's go to Pabbly Connect, okay? So just click on create workflow, give it a name, and choose the folder, okay? So in this case I'm going to leave it as it is, and then your dashboard will look like this, okay? So here you have to choose Google Sheets. Click on Google Sheets. All right, and select the trigger event, and then you have to copy this webhook. Ensure your workflow is on, okay? And copy this webhook URL, okay? And go to Google Sheets. So this is our Google Sheet where all the trigger data will be stored, and then go to extension and choose Pabbly Connect. If you haven't connected your Google Sheet with Pabbly Connect, then you have to do it. I have already done that. That is why this Pabbly Connect webhooks option is showing here. So you have to, for the first time, you have to do that process. Okay, so after that you just have to choose the Pabbly Connect webhook option and then click on initial setup, and then you have to paste the webhook URL that we have copied from Pabbly Connect dashboard, and then you have to choose the triggered column. So in this case we have I will choose trigger column as A. Okay, so because in the A column our email IDs are stored. Okay, and then you have to click on submit. You can do click on send test data. I would recommend you to do this process inside incognito tab, okay, because I don't know, for whatever reason this doesn't work in the normal window. So if you follow the same process inside incognito window, it will happen. Okay, so once you have done this process, so whenever a new entry is made inside this Google Sheet, then this data will be sent to this webhook URL. Okay, and from here we will register that user to the webinar. Okay, so first you have to connect your WebinarKit account with Pabbly Connect, and once you have done that, then you have to click on new registration. Okay, and then you have to choose the webinar, and then you have to map out all the data. Okay, so in this case we don't have any data right now, so I'm just typing out the data, but in your case you will receive data here, so you have to pick it from the previous step data. Okay, and then you have to give it a name, and then you have to enter the phone number, and then you have to enter the webinar presentation date. So you have to enter the webinar presentation date in this format. So I have just copied this and changed the date. Okay, so as you can see, this is 2023 and the month is December, and the date and the time, you can do that, and you can leave this field empty, and then once you click on save and submit, you will see this kind of interface. Okay, and this is your I think this is your webinar joining link. Okay, yeah, so this is the webinar joining link, so user can join the webinar using this particular link. So we need to send this link to the user. Okay, so yeah, this is the workflow, and now let's go back to our mind map. So yeah, in the final step you need to create another workflow which will send that webinar joining link. Okay, so in this workflow you have to find a contact inside Chatrace, and then you have to set a custom field for webinar. There we can save the unique webinar link. Okay, and then you have to send a workflow which contains the webinar joining link. Okay, so the workflow is, yeah, so this is the workflow. Yeah, this is the workflow. From here, from webhook, we will receive data. Okay, so as you can see, this data we will receive on the webhook. Okay, and then you have to find a contact by ID. So let me show you. So through ID you can find the data, and then you have to create a custom field to that particular contact. Okay, as you can see, I have a custom field where the webinar link will be saved. Okay, and then you have to create a custom field for date as well. So we want to add the date as well. So yeah, you can do this, and then you have to send a workflow which contains the unique webinar joining link. Okay, so yeah, this was the workflow. It is really simple, but in this video I just want to show you how you can create automatic webinar registration. So now let's talk about the result. So I have tested this workflow. So I was able to increase the webinar registration, but the webinar show up rate was low. It is simple. People did not visit the registration page, and they did not enter their information. It was all automatic. Okay, so the intent was low, and due to that we got lower webinar show up rate despite having more registration. Okay, so my final thoughts, so you have to give it a try. Okay, you can get creative. So post registration you can add a qualifier question too. For example, you can say like, will you attend the webinar? If the user says yes, then it shows higher intent. So yeah, that was my result. Try out this workflow and let me know what was your experience, and if you have any question you can ask in the comments below. I will try to help you. Thank you so much.